that I've known, things that surprised me is actually that my grandfather, and especially my grandmother, she's not with us anymore, but she was always a bit skeptical about these things, like, and my grandfather as well. But he's like, yeah, that yoga is good for you. Okay, good for you, right? We know there's a lot of changes. It's good for you. Well, and like, if I ever told him before, like, I'm going away for a couple of minutes, like, okay, what are you gonna do? Now he's like, okay, okay, so he's comfortable. Yeah, or me and my daughter are visiting him. I'm like, could you tend Nova, my daughter, for half an hour? Are you gonna do some yoga? Yeah, I have some practice. Yeah, no worries. And then I can hear from the top floor, like, I'm gonna go up to Dad. No, you're staying down here. So to see that reaction from him of all people is like, okay, there are more things happening around me than what I am able to grasp myself.
That's really wonderful. And
So,
at today's generation, they could really see in their own eyes, they can witness,
yeah.
the miraculous.
I never thought such a day would come where I would hear him talking about the benefits of what I'm doing. He's only seen me doing some asana or sitting for shunya meditation once or twice. And, for me, it was like doing the practices when I'm around someone else was kind of, I think that has a bit to do with what I went through earlier with the bullying. Like, you're doing something out of the normal or ordinary. I mean, if you're in the ashram, it's totally, everyone is doing it. But if you're doing it in a Swedish family, so to speak, it's like, what sound are you making? They're like, oh, what are you on about? So that kind of stuck with me for many, many years. It's actually first, like, since before I went to the ashram in Sanyama, now this year, that I actually been comfortable doing sounds and things and doing shunya, and there are still people around me because I don't feel like I'm being judged or picked at. And that's also a huge freedom. Like, it's like, what's the worst thing that's gonna happen? They're gonna make a comment about me sounding like a bird or something like that? Okay, let it be. Yeah. Because I rather think they have me in good company, it sounds weird, than that I just be quiet and just be up.
During your relatives or anyone in the surroundings, like, have they started noticing, actually, your friends and family, that any changes or the transformation that is happening within you?
Definitely. They fade. Like, if I'm asking, like, if I'm still telling them I'm going away for a couple of days, I'm not gonna have any phone on me. They're not like, oh, how am I gonna reach you? They're not were like that. It's like, okay, are you going for some yoga program? I'm like, yes. No, okay. It's no fuss. It's no big deal. In the beginning, it was a little bit like, ooh, they were worried about you in the beginning. Yeah. No, not. Well, they were more skeptical than worried because, like, yoga and meditations sometimes they're often associated with occult things, right? Yeah. And then they're like, oh, you're gonna do tantra or these things. I mean, they didn't ask me that, but I've heard other Isha meditators and friends having these questions, and the prejudices turned against them. But it probably took a year or maybe two before they kind of got the grasp of what you're doing. Yeah. I don't think they have any idea of what I'm doing really, but until they got to see the fruit that it bears.
Yeah. So they have seen you transform from what you were and to what you are now.
And most of all, they're also very, like I mentioned earlier, like, being consistent has always been a huge struggle for me. And that's something they've seen with me as well. I think they're probably thinking like, wow, he's super consistent with this. And I've never, ever, ever in my life been so consistent with anything as much as I've been with the practices. I mean, there have been days where I've been sick, where I've been puking. Like, all of the practices are, still on. There has been an occasion where I just passed out in my bed because of high fever. I mean, I woke up the next day, I missed what to do. Just get on it again. So that's been my mindset. It's never been a question of quitting, stopping, not doing it. Just, I'll do whatever I can do with whatever I can.
This is also that when you said about the myths around yoga, how it is being perceived in the Western world, or many people also, even in India or outside. But I think it is really that Sadhguru really uniquely giving to the world. I think it's a present just in the purest form of yoga, only with its science, purest science.
Yeah.
Um,
That's also the way I perceive Isha and Sadhguru. It's not about reaping benefits. It's more about how can you make yourself and in turn the world into a better place that's conducive and bears fruit for everyone. Whether you hate the people around you or not, like how can you improve their lives apart from your own? And the tools from inner engineering are some that I've been practicing quite heavily. It's in my line of work sometimes, okay. There have been instances where I've had a colleague or not that just goes on, nabs at you and things, and okay. And you just kind of remind yourself of certain things, and with that you can have more clarity in how to move forward and handle people around you as well.
I think the inner engineering class course are the tools. They're like guideline for me.
Everyone,